Jullie spelen niet vals.
Oh, dit was verkapt.
Nee, nu gaat het helemaal mis.
Jullie spelen vals.
The reason I make music is I have something in my life that I can put my energy in and I can see how it grows, and I know it will always be there no matter what the circumstances are. I focus on Indian percussion instrument, tabla, and guitar. I did popular music studies on guitar, and during that time I picked up the Indian percussion. Last year I went to India to study there as well. I always feel any time I spend with my instruments, it's like very precious time, and I know it's building up to something even more beautiful later on, and it will open doors for new experiences to me as well.
DJ'lik hakkında en çok sevdiğim şey insanlardan aldığım güzel enerjiler. Her sahneye çıkmadan önce duyduğum o heyecan, insanların bana verdiği güzel vibe ve birlikte dans edebilme coşkusunu çok seviyorum gerçekten. Ben DJ'lik ve prodüksiyonla uğraşıyorum. Normalde müzik öğretmeniyim. Fakat buraya geldiğimden beri daha çok DJ'liğe ağırlık verdim.
So my music is basically to remind people of the good side of life, because I think it's really necessary. I live on the water because it's nice. It's a nice way of living in a city, like a city nomad in a way. And I teach the violin to children. That's my passion. I didn't go to the conservatory with violin. I wanted to go to the conservatory with singing. I studied music science and I studied climate change, which was great because it gave me a direction to understand system Earth very systematically, and I incorporate that in my music.
Wat we inmiddels wel echt zeker weten, is dat we die gedeeltelijke lockdown inderdaad tot midden december zullen moeten volhouden.
Laten we beginnen bij het aantal optredens, evenementen en feesten die dit jaar niet doorgaan. Bij de 60 Nederlandse poppodia die zijn aangesloten bij de branchevereniging VNPF konden er van de 26.000 optredens dit jaar zo'n 21.000 niet op een normale manier doorgaan.
The virus, the pandemic, it changed my life a lot actually. I was learning percussion in India, and when I came back in March, like only 3 days after that, they closed down everything. And I was expecting just to fall back into the same life that I was leading just right before I went away, which was giving guitar lessons, working in a refugee center as a music coach, and playing a lot of concerts with my band. But all of this suddenly stopped. In the beginning, I was very happy actually. I was like, wow, I can really focus on whatever I want to do. Nice time to practice, just like in India. But of course, there's also a downside because after a few months, you start really missing out on experiences like playing concerts.
In my situation, it was just the easiest transition to take on a lot more students, to make more money in a sense. The corona situation basically pushed all artists to do something else for money, because not all artists, not all of them work on stage of course, but those that work on stage normally, well, stages are empty.
Ne zaman bir partiye gitseniz insanlarla eğlenmek istersiniz. Karşınızda dans eden insanlar görmek istersiniz. Fakat şu anda sadece live streamler oluyor ve biz seyircisiz çalmak zorunda kalıyoruz. Bu şekilde olduğunda da bana birazcık sahte geliyor. Hani bütün hislerimi bir araya koyarak aktaramadığımı düşünüyorum. Duygusal açıdan tatmin olamıyorum. Finansal açıdan ise gerçekten bütün müzik sektörü şu an düşüşte. Çünkü hiçbir şekilde bilet satışları olmuyor. Seyirciyle bir etkinlik düzenleyemiyorsunuz. Ve bu yüzden hem organizatörler hem de bizler para kazanamıyoruz şu anda.
Everyone is affected by corona. Yeah, or better said, not by corona, but by the regulations that follow up. So yeah, my career, of course, was under influence of those regulations as well. The schools closed, so my job, discontinued. And it was a struggle. But I managed to live in a creative way. And I think most artists that I know work with creativity, and that's their skill. That's what they are in their field for. So in a way, it's also a super nice challenge. It got me to creating a set, which is not finished, but to become a street performer, which I think is really nice because people on the street, it's not your typical audience, not the people that you would normally reach when you organize a concert. So in a way, those people might need the message the most. So yeah, and I know lots of people that have created with such imagination during the corona time.
My band Tricamegy, a group of very enthusiastic young people that have been making Balkan music for the last 12 years or so. Before Corona, we always had this, we have a concert next week, so we have to play the set, kind of emergency situation. So when the Corona started, we were now like, okay, there's no gigs. Now can be a nice time to start focusing on really diving into our personal style, how we can make new music and put the old repertoire a little bit to the back. During the height of the Corona, we just split up in small groups, like 2 or 3, and we work on new music mostly.
Bir taraftan korona zamanının olumlu etkileri de oluyor üstümde. Çünkü daha fazla vakit ayırabiliyorum yaptığım işe. Prodüksiyonlara, yakalamak istediğim soundlara daha fazla erişebiliyorum. Çünkü zamanım oluyor.
Making music with a smaller amount of people is also still going on behind closed doors. And I mean, of course, they are trying to regulate our lifestyles, but it's not really something that you can stop. Real magic is not something that you can stop. So, like a virus, you cannot put a virus in a box either. You cannot keep it in a box. You can delay the results, but you cannot stop it. So, and that's with music as well. If the inspiration comes, you can delay it, but if something needs to be said or needs to be sung or needs to be created, it will still be done in any way possible.
Talk about sunrise, talk about rain, talk about all of life smelling the same, and talk about the government, talk about the system, talk about all of your brothers and sisters. But why doesn't he see us hurt.